What's up, guys? Welcome to Court Farm Country Park. I'm Epic Journey, and we have bought a foreclosed farm for $750,000. We're going to try to turn this thing into something profitable, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So, little backstory here. I've been working construction here in the UK for quite some time. I sold my business, so now I'm going to try my hand at farming, and we're going to see how it goes. And, you know, I bought this foreclosed farm. The guy at the bank said, hey, you know what, $750,000 flat. Okay, it's a functional farm. It's got a little bit of land with it, some meadows and stuff like that. It's got a cow shed. You can make it work. It's got a little bit of equipment, but it needs some work. The equipment needs some work. And the place apparently is a little bit trashed. So that is okay, and we're going to make it happen. And we're pulling up now. So there's the cow shed there. That's what it looks like, the cow shed. Nice little house. Nice little house there. This place definitely looks trashed. Let's get out and take a look. Just got some piles of dirt and piles of rubbish and an old pickup that might run. Well, at least we could get it running. Little 5M. Little 5M, okay. That's not too bad for, you know, for this little farm. Got some old bales and stuff. Oh, old Massey over here. See if this thing runs. I guess not. I guess it doesn't run. Silo too. Okay. Got another Massey, it looks like. It's got some age on it. Does this thing run? Let's see if we can get it. Okay. It fires up, so that's a good sign. That's a good sign. It's definitely going to have some hours on it and probably need some maintenance, but hey, that's okay. Yeah, we might be able to make this work, guys. Definitely needs to be cleaned up though. A lot of stuff just trash, quite literally laying around. Looks like they just left this place in shambles, but that's usually how foreclosures go. We bought, you know, so I didn't sell all my construction equipment whenever I sold the company. So I did keep this this John Deere mini excavator and my Bobcat skid steer. So I kept those, and that stuff will come in handy cleaning this place up. When the guy told me the place needed to be cleaned up, I was like, yeah, I need to try to keep some equipment for my construction company so I can, you know, get started at least. But I wasn't sure what type of tractors and stuff were here, so now we kind of know that. And that, of course, I can also use that stuff, but yeah, just some manure piled up and stuff. Look like the cow shed here. Looks nice. I mean, hey, we can make this work. We can absolutely make this work. You know what? We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make this happen. And I'm gonna go ahead and look at getting this equipment unloaded and get started. But first things first, I'm gonna need to get this dirt moved. There's a couple piles over there I saw too, and try to get some of this trash out of here so that we can actually drive around the yard, and then look at all this equipment and see what we can get fixed up and stuff. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this stuff unloaded. All right, we got the Bobcat, and we're gonna try to get this Bobcat off. Pick this bucket up so it's not hitting on the trailer when we go down. But yeah, get this Bobcat off. I got to figure out what I'm gonna end up doing with all this dirt. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'm thinking I don't have my dump bed. I didn't pull my dump bed, of course, because I pulled the equipment. I do have a dump bed, though, so I'm going to have to go get that. But I think for now, we may just get this dirt, pile it up in front of the truck, just because we have nowhere else to put it right now, and then, you know, eventually we can come back once we get dump bed and stuff. Oh, shit. Okay. this is the last little bit. See if we can get that little bit scooped up. Oh, I think I went over it. There we go. There we go. That's the last bit of dirt. I did notice that this skid steer can barely handle a full bucket of dirt. Actually, it really can't. It kind of tips forward a little bit, so I have to be careful with that. I think, honestly, the best way to do it is just not fill the bucket up all the way. But yeah, that's it with this little dirt pile. Now we need to get the Mini-X out, try to get some of this other trash cleaned up too. Alright, now getting this Mini-X off of the truck. I'm not going to say it's going to be a challenge, but this thing is a little finicky coming up and down this ramp. See? It never lets me, I just can't get over the hump right there. I got to put my bucket down to do that. I'm not really sure why that is. I think my blade's still down too. No, it's not down. It was just rubbing a little bit against the ramp. Yeah, we'll get over here and start trying to get some of this rubble and stuff moved out of the way. I had to go pick up my dump bed. Of course, I'm going to need that in order to get all this stuff sorted. And I think we will put it right here next to the excavator. Should be good. Get all this rubble and stuff put in here. Well, it looks like that is the last of the rubble and the junk that was around the farm. So we're gonna call that a job well done as far as getting the rubble and the junk cleaned up. But we still do have dirt, and I don't know if we can get the mud cleaned up, but we're definitely gonna get the dirt out of here now that we went and got the dump bed. But the dump bed is quite full. It is quite full, and I don't think I'm going to let this go to waste. I think I'm going to keep this on the farm, the rubble, because we can crush all that and turn it into lime at some point. So I'm just going to take this around the corner. Yeah, I think this looks like a good spot. We're going to dump it right next to this lime pile. We're going to dump it right next to this lime pile. This will be fine. Eventually I might get a crusher and crush it, but for now we're just gonna dump it here. The reality situation is most of this stuff we can't afford to like haul it off somewhere or pay for it to have, pay for it to be disposed of, so we'll just make do with piling it up around the farm. And I mean, hey, who doesn't have a farm that has junk piled up everywhere, right? Who doesn't have a farm? There's junk piled up everywhere. We got a little bit of a problem. I think I'm stuck. This dump bed's having trouble dumping all this rubbish. But it's mostly because you got big pieces of concrete and stuff in there. I think we're good now. Alright, so the rubbish and trash has been cleaned up. That's been cleaned up around the farm. Alright, get this trailer backed up under the shed here and get the excavator put up. The skid steer we're going to keep out because we do need to get that pile of dirt moved. But yeah, that should be good for the the trailer here. All right, there we go. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the truck off, and I'll just leave it for there. Leave it right there for now. Is that straight? It's not really straight, but it'll be all right. Yeah, and then we'll get the excavator put up, get this dirt moved out of the way, and then we'll start looking at some of this equipment to see what's up, man. I think we definitely need to pull out an old toolbox and get some maintenance done on these things, but I'm really curious. Does this even run? Nope. No, truck doesn't even run. But I did get most of the rubble out of the way, at least what was in the way. This stuff, I'll just leave that here for now. And yeah, we'll probably end up getting all this dirt loaded up in the trailer at some point. So guys, I found out that my dump bed will not carry the dirt from the mud system mod. So we are going to pile up the dirt right here and just get it out of the way. And then maybe at some point we will have some type of trailer or something that will actually carry the dirt from the mud system mod. And we'll get it either moved or out of the way at that point. But for now, we're just going to move it off to the side, out of the way. I mean, realistically, that's all I was going to do anyway. I was just going to use the trailer to move it somewhere else. Oh, I'm driving over the pile here. Well, I can't drive a skid steer. Imagine that. It is a little bit weird driving with a steering wheel. I am using a Logitech G923. Freaking awesome steering wheel, if you haven't checked it out. Freaking awesome. We'll get this stuff moved out of the way and then look at what we need to do next to get the farm up and running. I feel like I've definitely adjusted to the amount of material this bucket can hold. Of course, it's taken me longer to to pick stuff up or whatever, but I'm not filling it up every time. Which I'd love to fill it up, but this skid steer cannot handle that. It cannot handle this bucket being full. And I can't remember the capacity of this bucket. I want to say it was maybe 2,000. Let's make sure there's nothing left here. Back up. All right, good. Looks good. Well, we are moving right along. Got all that done. So skid steer work is pretty much complete. Actually, you know what? Let me see. Can I move mud? I want to see with the mud. I actually haven't checked this out with this mud system mod. I want to see, can you pick up the mud? Oh, you can. Dude, this is clutch. I can move the mud out of the way too. I didn't realize I could do this. This is actually awesome. So you can move the mud and then like I'm guessing it comes back at some point or something. Let's dump it right over here. I don't mind having the mud on the farm. I just don't want a ton of it because your tractors will get stuck in it. So let's move it over there in the grass. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine for now. Alright, let's move the skid steer in here next to the little mini excavator. Alright, the skid steer is all parked up. We got that. We need to check out these tractors and see what needs repairing. I did see that they had a toolbox over here by the house. Yeah, we need to bring this with us. Take this toolbox and go check out these tractors. See if we can pay to get some of them repaired. I'm not necessarily worried about the truck right now. I really need to see about the 2 tractors. Or 3 tractors, actually. Let's see. So the John Deere definitely needs some work. It's got some hours on it, too. What about this stuff? Does that have hours? No. Okay. My truck's good, though. Okay, so the John Deere needs some work. Let's go ahead and get that thing repaired. Alright, so that's good. At least it's in good condition now. And this old Massey. This is a Massey Ferguson 35, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a 35. It's got front loader on it so you can barely see, but... Okay, this thing is smoked. This thing's smoked. It might actually need fuel, too. So... Let's see if it'll run. Yep, it needs fuel. Yep, this thing needs fuel too, so we'll have to get to that at some point. I think we do have a fuel tanker here on the farm too. Let's get this Massey up and running. Okay. Yeah, it's got some age on it. Okay, that's alright. It is up and running now. Let's see if it needs fuel. Yeah, it's got a half a tank. So it's got some fuel, but we do need to get fuel in there. Let me I'm trying to think, where should I put this? I guess I'll just keep it in here for now. Just keep it in here. Let's see how much fuel the Massey had, the 35. Is that the fuel gauge? I think the fuel gauge is the one on the left. Not sure. But yeah, it definitely needs some. And you know what? Now while I'm here, I'm going to just get it out of here. This thing also has a bucket on it. Maybe it can handle picking up material a little bit better than a skid steer, depending on what we're doing. But this is a nice old tractor, man. This thing's nice. It's got a rear weight on it. Definitely everything you could need. We might need some forks, like bale forks and stuff for this thing too. We'll have to get that eventually. This might be what we use to move bales around off of the fields and stuff, you know, and then we use a skid steer on the farm, like if we're moving bales around the farm, but this one could be what we use to move bales on the field. Either way, I like it. Very nice tractor. Do need to get used to that bucket though. Alright. You know what? I forgot about the pickup truck. We might as well go ahead and get it running too. Now what does this look like? Yeah, not good. Does it have fuel? I think it's low. Yeah. Less than half a tank, it looks like. Let's get this out of the way, though. I don't know if we have fuel in the tanker over there, but I don't think we do. It's probably empty, considering this is a foreclosed farm. I mean, if I foreclosed on my farm, I definitely would have drained all the fuel out. Just saying. But I can go ahead and get this toolbox put up. So I'm over here checking out the cow farm, and it does look like they have a bunch of like old TMR. They're just left here, spread out. So we do need to bring either that Massey 35 or the skid steer down here and get this stuff cleaned up. I'm not so concerned about the manure piles, but eventually I'll need to get this food cleaned up, and we can see about getting some cows. I did see there were some old bales. There were some old bales over there too, so we can maybe even make TMR, but we need a food mixer. So there's a couple things I'm looking at buying. I'll look at buying first. One, a food mixer. We got a fermenting silo, so we can use this fermenting silo to make some silage, which is freaking awesome. We got a mower, so we're gonna need some type of pickup, like a pickup wagon, so that we can mow. Windrow. We need a windrower. So we need a windrower and a pickup wagon to get started. Eventually we'll get a baler to do our hay and stuff with, and straw. But there are some bales here. So we got hay, straw, and yeah, there was silage. Yep, silage on the back side. So we can make TMR as well. Yeah, so I think I'm going to take this Massey, the 5465, up to the store and get a food mixer. I'm going to get a mixing wagon so that we can use those bales, get those mixed up, and maybe go buy some cows. We go buy some cows. We also probably need to look at getting some type of water trailer. I think this shed might have its own, it might be plumbed up, but we will need a water trailer eventually, so we'll look at that. But for now, I'm just going to go get a mixing wagon. And what other things did I say I needed? We need a pickup wagon and a windrower, but we'll have to make separate trips for that stuff. Alright, so I talked to the guy at the store, and he recommended to go with this Shootamaker Vertigo feed mixer based on the size of our farm and how many cows I want to get, which for now I'm just going to start out with probably like 15. But once we get this down to the farm and get some feed going, we'll go buy some cows or get them delivered. Probably just get them delivered. And that may not be delivered today, but it's just one of those things, you know. I need to have an idea of how many I want. So I told him, you know, it'd be about 15. He said, "Hey, look, this is the best one to go with. It's brand new. It's probably the only brand new equipment we have right now, so that's a plus." But we'll go ahead and get this down to the farm and see about getting these bales loaded up. And I'm just now realizing I don't have anything to load bales with. I don't have a bale fork at all. So yeah, we're going to have to overcome that obstacle as well. Definitely a complete oversight on not having a bale fork. Complete oversight. I think we're going to park the feed mixer right here though. And then I'm going to have to take that little Massey Ferguson 35 up to the store and get a bale fork for it. I would say, and I have dirt in the bucket too. Well, let me dump that out. Dump out any dirt that might be in the bucket. There we go. Alright, let me get this bucket put up. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to put the bucket right here in front of this dirt pile. And I'm going to go grab some fork for this thing. I am coasting back to the farm. I barely have any fuel left. So we gotta look at getting this thing refueled. So we may have to purchase some fuel here. Let's see. Get this thing cut off before it runs out. Let's do 1,000 liters for right now. Yeah, let's do that. And we're gonna refill this bad boy. Alright, we're done refueling. This thing only holds 48 liters of fuel. So definitely a small fuel tank, but that's what you expect with these old tractors. That is what you expect with these old ones. So now we just need to get this fuel mixer fuel mixer. Food mixer turned on. We'll do that. Get this thing fired up here. There we go. Awesome. Awesome. I don't know if I'm going to be using straw for this first go. Maybe I will. We'll see. Let's go ahead and get hay bale in there first though. Alright, I gotta ride around the back in order to get silage bales, so I'm gonna go do that. I might drop them over the fence actually. That's probably what I'm gonna do. I think what I'm gonna do is just grab the silage bale and drop it over this little brick wall. Need to come back here and get rid of these trees and stuff. Instead of carrying it around there, and I'll pick it up on the other side. I'm going to drop one more too, because I'm not quite sure how much I'm going to make right now, but probably just one load. Probably just one load of TMR, just to get us started. But I want to get these cows going, get some purchased, and get them delivered, and get this going immediately so they can start making us some money or growing, depending on what age we get. Go ahead and get that started. Alright, there we go. 2 bales over the wall. Yeah, we need to grab one of these bales, drop it in there, see where we're at. I really don't know the capacity of that thing. The guy at the store told me, but let's be real, I wasn't paying attention. At least not enough to remember numbers, which is pretty common with me. I try to forget numbers as soon as I can. Alright, let's see here. There we go. Alright, let's see what we're looking like. Okay, we have a little too much, so we do need that straw. We got a little too much hay. That's okay. We do need that straw, I think, to even things out. So let's grab one bale of straw. I grabbed the straw too high. There we go. Much better. Much better. If you grab it too high, you'll have too much hanging down. You won't be able to lift it up high enough to go into the mixer. So, grabbing it in the middle is just about perfect. And this is going to work great. Okay, so there's that. Let me hop out here. Take one more look at where we're at with the TMR. Now I got too much straw. Imagine that. I think we can throw another silage bale in here. How much Yeah, we can do silage. Yep, you got to figure out the mixer that you're using and the capacity. So what I may do in the future is, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to have the fermenting silo. So as far as silage goes, I'll be getting my silage from the fermenting silo before too long, once we get things going. So we shouldn't have this problem. But for right now, it is a little wonky getting used to the capacity and how many bales you need to stick in there to make proper TMR. But this should get us right. I actually don't even have to use this whole bale. I think I can just kind of set it down in there and let it take some of it. There we go. Let's try that. Let's see what that looks like. Nope, still too much. I'm gonna drop the whole bale in there. Alright. It doesn't look like TMR. That's not good. Yep. Too much straw. Need more silage. Wow, really? How many liters does this thing hold? Okay. Well, looks like we're gonna go get more silage. Two more bales over the wall, coming right up. Well, luckily, the farm had these bales hanging out. No telling how long they've been there. But it's definitely helped us out, helped us get started. I feel like we've done a decent job getting started here in this episode, this first episode. We got the farm cleaned up, the foreclosed farm. Got it cleaned up, and it's definitely functional, just like the banker said. Got the equipment that was here. Got some maintenance done there so that we could use it, so that's a good start. And now we are making our first load of TMR to prepare for getting cows, because we definitely want to go ahead and get our cows in here. So yeah, this is a pretty good first run. Let's get this TMR made, and let's get a check on it right there. I probably should just drop the whole thing, but there we go. Now we have TMR, but we can take the whole bale, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're just gonna drop the whole bale. I gotta be careful with it, and I'll get used to what I need to make TMR in this thing. Definitely a little clumsy this first time, but that's okay. That is all good. Yep, there we go. We have TMR, 18,000 liters. That's not bad. So it took 3 silage bales. Let's take a look at this. Wow. It took 3 silage bales, 1 hay bale. Actually, there's still some. That silage bale didn't take all the way. It doesn't look like. 3 silage bales, 1 hay bale, and 1 straw bale. Now those hay bales, I don't really know what the capacity is. That might be why I had a problem. That's only 4,500 liters. Okay. But yeah, so we got our farm cleaned up. We got our equipment running. We got our first load of TMR. Wow. Coming right along, right? So next episode, let's look at getting cows and start cutting some of these fields. We got 4 fields, and we have the field that our cow shed is in. There's some grass on that we can use too. So we got 4 meadows, really. They're all meadows. But we're going to start getting some grass cut, making some hay, and start some silage fermenting in our silo over there in the next episode. But yeah, for now, this is going to be it. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, Consider leaving a like. Consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate y'all. Epic Journey out.